Yes.
The sensation and perception is not very much clear to me. Can you please repeat it?
Yes. Yes. Suppose I am touching here, or I'm touching anything else. Suppose this mobile is touched here like this. Now, this mobile is touched. This instance of touching is the physical aspect.
So your
Now,
voice is being at my end. I'm not sure if it is the same with others also.
We can hear sir clearly. We can't see him. We can see the presentation, but we can hear him clearly.
okay.
Okay.
Even I can.
All right.
I've connected on the laptop also. So anyway, let's continue with this. Let me explain that answer. That this particular touch is the physical aspect. If it is a hit, then I don't like it. If it is a soft touch, then I like it. So what is the difference between a hard touch and a soft touch? It is bringing some chemical change within the body, which identifies as a soft touch and which identifies it as a hard touch. That is the sensation which is happening chemically within after the physical experience. Are you able to understand the sensation?
The sensation is touch in both the cases, but the perception is dependent upon the...
Depending upon the type of sensation, our perception differs, and that sensation happens chemically inside the body. Physiologically, we experience it, right? So with upcoming examples, actually, you'll be able to understand more. But before those examples, two terms needs to be clarified. Two terms. The first is the tendency. The first is the tendency, and the second is the intention. Dr. Dubey was asking about, Dr. Dubey, are you there? Yes, sir. Your video frame is actually not capturing you, but you're there. Now we can understand. So these two terms, tendency and intention. Sir, can you identify the difference between these two pictures? What is the difference between these two? Dr. Dubey, can you hear us? You are mute, sir. You are mute.
One is natural and another is man-made or man-driven.
Right. So this mango is a tendency-based aspect. Tendency is a spontaneous characteristic, spontaneous, a natural growth, where there is no intention behind growth of the mango. It is a natural. So what we call natural is a tendency based aspect. Do we understand this aspect? Tendency.
Yes.
And mango jam is an intentional production. It's a neural derivation with critical analysis. There is a CEO behind this mango jam who is intentionally sketching to please the taste sensation. One of the physical sensation is targeted here to lure, right? Any kind of human creation is intentional based. So we are not criticizing that, but we are trying to understand that how this particular aspect actually changes the voice of the organism, the natural voice of the organism. Now, matter, we were talking about the materialism. Materialism connects to the matter. Now here, the matter, the definition of matter is which is commonly perceivable. It's a concrete assurance of being truth. If something is matter kept in front of us, we are assured that it is truth. It is visible. It is perceivable and commonly perceivable. Everybody can see it. There is no doubt about it, its existence. right? That's what is the matter that we identify. Now here we need to understand that the matter is tendency driven matter is something, and intention driven matter is something else. This is an intention driven, matter which is visible. Everybody can see this jar of jam, mango jam, but intention is behind this creation of the matter. So it cannot be claimed as the raw matter and natural matter. If anything, let this be wall behind me, that is also a creation. It may be visible by everyone, but without the intention, the construction of the wall also cannot be possible. So it cannot be claimed as the matter in its raw form. Right? Yes, Binod.
Yes, sir.
Tell me. You have some question? You have unmuted yourself, seems.
No, sir.
Okay. Right, sir. So who are all there in the session? Ashish, are you able to follow?
Yes, Kalyan, there have been interruptions, but broadly I have been able to follow.
Okay, okay. Nagalakshmi, up to here, is it understandable somewhat, the difference between the tendency and the intention?
Yeah, pretty much clear, Kalyan.
Right, right. Right. Anybody, Prashant or Binod, do you have any doubt?
No,
Should we
sir.
proceed? Should we proceed? Okay. So now the tendency we talked about is the truth which is causing emotion. So you are hungry, in front of you mango is kept, and you are feeling attracted towards that mango. That is what is the emotion. And that is what is the voice of the organism here we are talking about. So truth causes emotion. That is what is the true materialism. The nature driven matter causing emotion that drives an organism towards the right natural direction, not the right or wrong, but the natural direction, whether to continue with the experience or not, that gets directed with this emotion, which is truth driven, the matter driven, the raw matter driven.
So the
No.
attraction is the emotion, right?
Yes, yes. That physiological sensation that we sense
Or
by seeing it with the sight, with the taste, we sense something inside, that is the emotion. That is the feeling. So all these are synonyms, feelings, emotion, voice of the organism. Now, if the matter is with idea, you are not audible, Meenu.
I'm audible now.
Now, yeah, tell me.
Cause
No, your voice is breaking. Your voice is breaking.
talking about.
Your voice is breaking, Meenu.
Okay, I'll ask after time, sir.
Yes,
Fine.
yes, please. So this matter with the idea is that jam, mango jam. We'll have multiple examples upcoming. So if it is causing emotion, it is a confused materialism. we may consider that this particular matter, which is absolutely visible, it is causing emotion. What is the harm in it? As Dr. Dubey proposed, that the mango jam is also attracting me. What is harm in it? There is no harm, but one idea is actually causing emotion. It is not just the bottle of the mango jam. The idea behind the mango jam is causing this emotion. We need to identify this aspect. Is it identifiable?
Suppose
So,
the idea is to enhance the taste and enhance the assimilation and absorption of that product. Sometimes, you know, uncooked thing we cannot eat some particular item,
yes,
but
yes,
when we cook it, it becomes tastier, easy to assimilate, easy to be absorbed.
yes,
So in that case also the matter with idea is there, because everything we cannot eat in the raw form, especially vegetables.
right.
So we cook.
Now
Yeah.
here we need to understand that while cooking, what we are going to change. What is the intention behind this cooking? If the cooking is just by heating or steaming without mixing anything chemically, chemical mixture means spices also. If we mix, let it be the natural spices, but there is an intention to enhance the taste chemically. Are you able to understand this? Enhancing the taste by just steaming versus enhancing the taste by mixing the spices. Is there a difference in the intention that we identify? Do you?
But then, you know, so many things we cannot be able to eat, which we are in routine we are eating in the
Yes.
vegetable.
Yes.
So when we follow pure nurture, pure means all those things will go off
No,
the.
in reality, what we are doing, that let's come to that little later. But are we able to identify that this food, what I am consuming, is chemically modified, taste-wise? Physically modified means just by steaming or boiling. If you are modifying, that is a physical modification. But the chemical modification happens when you mix spices into it with the intention to enhance taste. So this chemical modification is actually confusing the voice of the organism. Are you able to understand this?
Then the voice is telling it's tastier. It
It's
is.
tastier, which is modified by the idea, not by the matter. It is not. So mango jam, when we identify that the mango jam is tasty, we actually identify the idea behind mango jam. It is not the matter that is attracting us. Are we able to identify this difference? Which attracting me, the matter or the idea?
Kalyan sir, may I
Ma'am,
ask a question here?
ma'am, please, ma'am.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to understand this, and if I'm just trying to take a different example. So if you talk about corn, like a lot of people like corn on the cob, or they steam it or they roast it and eat it. Now, steaming it is one way of having it, but then that when you roast it, you may like it even better. So then in this case, you are not adding any spices. You're just boiling it in water, or you're just roasting it over a coal or anything else. So now here, is this the idea? I mean, are you changing the idea, or you're still, having the pure,
Yeah.
emotions?
So if we now compare a modified, the steamed food, something steamed and liked by us, something raw liked by us, and something chemically cooked. Chemically means with spices cooked, liked by us. Then the natural voice of the organism will get from the raw, then almost natural will get from the steamed, because in the steaming we are not adding anything to modify the chemical structure of the taste. We are
Okay.
just giving air and the fire and the water, these
Okay.
things.
Basically, we are just making it palatable.
Yeah, so it's actually enhanced. The taste is being enhanced physically, not chemically.
Yeah.
But my question was because see, a lot of times you prefer a certain thing over a certain thing. That's
Yes,
like again emotion driven or like liking driven. That's what we're saying, right?
yes,
So
yes,
of course, you have to cook it because you cannot have it raw. So that's kind of understandable that you're not. There's no choice. You're not talking about a choice here. But again, when you prefer one thing over the other, so is this again you are making conscious decisions because you like something and you're trying to eat what you like, or what is you're trying to eat what is right to eat? So how do you understand this in comparison to jam and mango again? So again, because these are two processes, and some people prefer jam over the taste, I mean because of the taste of it maybe, and that's why they're eating it. So is it same as having your corn like steamed or roast, or comparatively?
yes, yes. It cannot be the same, ma'am,
Okay.
because here what we are trying to do is the analysis of that origin. The origin of the jam is definitely some chemical modification of the substance that has been done through the ideas. And
Right.
steaming and boiling without any taste modification through the spices, that happens just physical modification. Are you able to understand the difference
Yeah.
between the physical
Yes, yes, yes.
modification and the chemical modification?
Yes, 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 I got it.
Right. So if it is a physical modification, then the voice of the organism is not mutilated. It
Okay.
is not changed entirely because it is a matter driven. If the voice of the organism is matter driven, then that voice of the organism is the real voice of the organism that we experience.
Okay.
It is not confusing voice of the organism.
Okay.
If there is an idea which is causing emotion means one idea came to your mind and you are saying that it is a wow idea or it is a so sad idea. This is what is the emotion.
Okay.
Are you able to understand this? The
Yes, so
difference?
that's probably exactly what I'm trying to say.
Hmm.
I don't know if I'm not able to make
No,
myself
no,
clear through
please
the
reiterate.
question. Yeah,
Reiterate.
so I understand that through that you have to cook it because that's like a mandatory thing. And if I steam it, it's fine. It's done because I can eat it now, right? That's like the truth that I had to steam it because I had to consume it. But then the idea is that I like it better if I will roast it further. It's not only steaming, but I'm going to do that additional process, or I'm instead of steaming, I'm going to do that process of roasting it because I like that taste of that burnt coal or whatever over it. Still, I have not added any spices, but it's that idea, the emotion that I'm connected to, that fragrance of coal, or that is something that is attracting me to have it. So is it still the same, or is it going to that
It
next
is a
level?
physical modification because the tools that you are adding to
No, so
modify.
sir, I
Yes,
understand that it is not a chemical modification,
yes, yes.
but
Like
I'm just talking.
you are cutting a fruit. That is also a
Yes,
modification.
I'm only talking about it as emotional level. That you are emotionally more attached to certain things than to the other
That's
things.
absolutely fine, ma'am,
That's
because
absolutely
emotion drives us.
okay.
If you love mangoes over say for example watermelon, both are same season food, but
Right.
you love mango more than the watermelon. That's absolutely natural because it is a
Okay.
matter driven emotion.
Okay.
The
Okay.
emotion, so that is what we are proposing here. If the
Okay.
emotion or the voice of the organism is matter driven, if it
Mm-hmm.
is a matter driven, then it
Okay.
is a natural emotion and we have to honor it. We
Okay.
have to honor it for its integrity and for its
Okay.
natural experience, natural indication.
Okay. Okay.
Right, right.
Got it, Kalyan. Thank you
So
so much.
yes, ma'am. Now idea causing emotion is the idealism. Idea causing, so any idea came to your mind and that is giving you some emotion, that is giving you some emotion as wow, that idea is excellent, or this idea is so depressing. If that is coming to our
Can
mind,
we take an example?
yeah, just a second. So that is what we actually need to identify, that this is an idealism aspect, and why we are actually criticizing in a way idealism, because it doesn't conserve vitality. Suppose I get burned from a fire. That's a physical experience, and emotion is very physical. Like I have to remove my hand from the fire. That's a response out of that emotion that is generating physiologically, that fire is hotter than the normal. Now a thought of fire came and I became phobic. Just thought of the fire came and I feel some sensation inside me. That is what is the emotion caused by the idea. Now this particular, any idea, when it is causing some emotion, then that idea will get strengthened after we identify and acknowledge that emotion. After the idea, when we acknowledge, then it will strengthen. It will strengthen and it will create a loop. It will create a loop in itself. So here some idea, here is some emotion, and here is some matter. If the matter is causing an emotion, like the fire, you remove the fire, the burning sensation will go off. Now, if you are actually having a phobia of fire, the moment that phobia gives you some uncomfortable sensation, the phobia will strengthen. And when the phobia is strengthened, the sensation will strengthen further, and it will create a loop on its own. So any emotion which is generated by the idea will be in loop, which will happen in loop, and which will actually compromise our vitality conservation. Any idea causing, I'm repeating this term again, that an idea causing emotion will create a loop within ourselves, and that loop will compromise our vitality conservation. But if a matter creating emotion, that will be ended when the matter is ended. Matter has got a start and end. This is a critical aspect. You might feel that this is very complicated things, but take your time to understand this, because after this, a lot of examples are coming up which will clarify the things further. So we have these three layers covered. One is the tendency, which is the matter driven emotion. Another is matter with idea driven emotion. And third one is the idea causing emotion. Now the fourth one. The fourth one is idea causing awareness. Awareness is different than the emotion. Awareness doesn't have any emotion. Emotion of liking, disliking, good or bad is missing in the awareness. So an idea causing awareness bypassing the emotion is the rationality, where we understand these complete phenomena. We are not obsessive of anything. Obsession is an emotion. Awareness and obsession cannot stay together. When we do not have any obsession and lot of ideas are there without any obsession that this idea is a great idea or this idea is very bad idea, this kind of obsession is not there. Just awareness without any opinion. If it is there, then that actually supports the rationality. Let's park there and take some examples. Now in upcoming few slides, you'll find the common two rows. This particular presentation is also shared with you, which you can refer after the session is over. So this is a common 2 rows which you will find. We are starting with example of eyes. We are starting with example of eyes. Eyes are structured to not to look at the source of light. Eyes are structured naturally, programmed to not to look at the source of light. And to identify this, we need not to know or understand rocket science, because you just look at a source of light, your eyes will be squeezed on its own. So that's the natural response that we get, that we should not look at the source of the light. And this is not an opinion. This is the common experience of everyone, right? Now, on the one side, you see the sun, the natural source of light, and the other side, another source of light is there, which is an augmented reality as mobile screen, which is also a source of light, but it is made attractive so that the pain being sensed by the individual due to looking at the source of light is suppressed there, like the chili. Chili, when it is mixed with other taste, we consume it, but internal effect remains the same. The chili is not eatable, it is not a food, human food, that's a fact. But when we defy that at the entry level, it doesn't change its effect physiologically. Similarly, eyes are structured to not to look at the source of light, but we are actually sticking ourselves to the source of light, always with some or other gadgets, and which are actually source of light. Now let's try and understand that particular chart. This is just pay attention on this. We have another 2 minutes for this session. Then after that, we'll take a break and again come back. But this eye chart we can complete, and we can continue other sense organs after we resume. So natural stimulus is light. The specification, suppose if it is a reflected opaque light, the light which is falling on a tree and then coming to our eyes, which is a pleasurable sight. If it is a reflected opaque light, then it is a pleasurable. There is no problem in the eyes. We accept that source and we conserve vitality. Now, if it is a direct source of light, then it causes pain, and that source has to be rejected, then we can conserve. And if we conserve, then the growth happens. The disposition is growth here. Now let's bring intention into it. We have created mobile screen, and mobile screen suppressing the pain of source of light and creating some pleasurable aspect, which is a combination of stimulation and suppression, which actually lead us to indulge into it. Indulgence means lot of vitality requirement, and over engagement of vitality happens, and it is anti-growth. It compromises our growth, right? Be with this thought. We are resuming in 5 minutes, taking a short break and continuing with other sense organs.